In this tutorial, we'll explore the process of setting up webhooks to enable the automatic triggering of Jenkins jobs whenever code changes are pushed to GitHub. A webhook is a mechanism that allows one system to notify another system about events in real time. In the context of software development and continuous integration/continuous deployment, CI/CD, webhooks are often used to trigger automated processes when certain events occur. Access your Jenkins service running on port 8080 from the browser and log in using the credentials created during the setup process. Now, let's configure our job, Git integration job, for build triggers. Select GitHub hook trigger for GATSCM polling and click on Save. Next, make a code change in your repository and push it to GitHub. To push code changes, use your GitHub account username and a personal access token as the password. Verify the code changes on GitHub. However, note that this won't trigger a Jenkins build yet because the webhook is not configured. Navigate to your repository on GitHub, go to the Settings, and select Webhooks. Add a new webhook. Entering the Jenkins webhook URL, e.g., http://localhost 8080/GitHub webhook/. This step ensures that GitHub notifies Jenkins of any code changes, triggering the automated build process. Content type should be application JSON. Click on Add Webhook. The error you're encountering indicates that GitHub is unable to reach the specified webhook URL, which, in this case, is set to localhost. GitHub webhooks require a publicly accessible URL to send payload data. Since localhost is not accessible over the public internet, GitHub cannot establish a connection. To resolve this issue, you need to expose your Jenkins instance to the public internet or use a service that allows tunneling traffic from the internet to your local machine. Ngrok is a tool that creates secure tunnels to your local host, making it accessible from the internet. After installing Ngrok, you can expose your Jenkins server and create a public URL that tunnels traffic to your local Jenkins server running on port 8080. Let's proceed with the installation of Ngrok by executing the brew install command as per the documentation. After installation, verify its success by running the ngrok -version command, which should display the Ngrok version information. Now that Ngrok is installed, we can utilize it to create tunnels for exposing local services to the internet. Follow the command provided in the documentation, specifying the port on which our Jenkins service is running, 8080. This will forward the Jenkins service at port 8080 to a public URL on ngrok.io. To use ngrok, we need to sign up for an account on the ngrok website. I'll sign in using my Google account. Skipping 2FA for now. After providing the necessary details, we are now signed into the ngrok dashboard. Retrieve the authentication token from the dashboard and configure ngrok using the provided command. Rerun the command to forward our Jenkins service to a public URL. Access Jenkins using this public URL. Note that ngrok requires an account and an auth token for installation. Now that our Jenkins service is accessible via a public URL, we can proceed to create a webhook in GitHub. Add your Jenkins service's public URL as the payload URL. Click on Add Webhook, and upon successful creation, perform some code changes in our Jenkins file, creating a commit to check if the build is automatically triggered. Open a new tab in your terminal using Command+T. Let's modify the existing echo command, save the changes using :wq, and check the status using git status. The status should reflect changes in one file. Utilize git diff to view the specific modifications. Proceed to stage the changes and commit them to version control. Push the changes using GitHub account username and personal account token. We can observe that build number 2 is auto-triggered. Review the console logs to see that the build is initiated by GitHub, indicating the code changes pushed by the Get DevOps Ready user. Additionally, the commit message and Jenkins file execution log are visible. To conclude, we can stop the grok service by pressing Ctrl+C, subsequently halting access to the Jenkins service on the public URL. This ensures that our local Jenkins instance is no longer exposed to the internet. In next tutorial, let's delve into Jenkins plugins. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more content.